Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today is a LEGO minifigure collection video. I've got every single LEGO Star Wars Christmas minifigure ever made. The first time I did this complete collection video was back in 2015 when there were just 9 figs. Now in 2020, the complete collection totals to 20. Before we jump in though, first let me say real quick that we got a web store that sells instructions for custom LEGO builds. There are some amazing designs here created by builders from all over the world. The PDF instructions are high quality, easy to follow. We use parts that can be bought on the second-hand market. Each instruction set also includes a quick buy parts list. All the builds have been physically tested, and if you ever feel like jumping into the world of LEGO custom building, click that link in the description below, www.brickvault.toys. It's a great way to help support the channel and the designers we work with. And now let's jump into the collection. Rewinding back to the year 2011, the first Star Wars fig with a Christmas theme was the Santa Yoda. He's got that Clone Wars era headpiece, a satchel on his back, and an exclusively printed torso piece, which is a little bit surprising. You'll notice the green skin tone right at the top of the chest there. He, along with the rest of these figs, almost all the rest of these figs in this collection, came out in the respective advent calendar for this year, and I'd say he's a pretty good first choice character for the LEGO Star Wars theme. Let's jump up to 2012. There are 2 figs that came out for this year, the first one being the R2-D2 Snowman. The print for the body and head is pretty darn excellent. We've got sort of snow details that make out a lot of the mechanical stuff. Carrots and coal also can be seen. And let me know what type of droid name you think this guy deserves in universe. I know the comments were having fun with that the last time we made this video. The other fig, and I believe final fig of the set for the advent calendar that came out this year, was Santa Darth Maul. The version of this character is pretty cool because they just Christmasified a version of Jedi, or in this case Sith robes, instead of just sticking a head of Darth Maul on top of a Santa print. There's actually quite a lot of detail here. They put a cape on him, but still put a lot of good detail on the back of him as well. And his price has been slowly but surely creeping up over the years. My guess is he'll probably break $10 by the end of next year in terms of a collectible fig. 2013 gave us only one new minifigure from the advent calendar, but it's a lot of folks' favorite. This is the Santa Jango Fett. The helmet and face print have been found in Jango's before, and the only thing that truly makes him unique is the special print for his torso, but it really is once again a very special and highly detailed print. It goes all the way around the back. He's got presents on his utility belt, which is great, and I like that they still made his armor a little bit damaged as well. It kind of mimics, I think, what his armor print looked like for the standard version of this guy. He sells for $14, making him one of the most collectible in the collection. And then let's jump to 2014, where the advent calendar had 3 new figs that all had Christmas themes. That number was actually not beat for an advent calendar until this year, which is interesting. Granted, this first guy almost doesn't count. This is the clone trooper with a Santa hat. That's right, he's a standard clone trooper, and they just put standard Santa hat on him. Technically, that counts as an exclusive release, and I was shocked to see that he's almost $10 now on Bricklink. Clone troopers in general, their prices have just been going up over the years, but still, this guy doesn't seem like he should be that much. Let's move on to the festive astromech. Once again, let me know what you think his actual name should be. R2-Tree2 isn't a bad one. I saw in the comments before. The print and head mold are unique just to this figure. Granted, the print is very, very similar on the body to what other R2s looked like. Just the colors have changed a little bit, and of course it's molded in dark green, which is a first time. And then the truly special piece is the cone with the R2-D2 face that's kind of molded in with the rest of the tree ornament details. This is a really fun and weird, strange crossover fig. I like it a lot. He is a $12 minifigure now. And then probably to nobody's surprise, Santa Darth Vader is basically the most collectible of the advent calendar minifigures. The printing for the front of this guy looks absolutely awesome. They didn't bother to put any printing on his back, though I'm not disappointed because he comes standard with a cape and you're basically never going to display him without it. He also comes with the standard helmet and face print that was common for this year release. Funny that they reused the Christmas present utility belt thing from Jango Fett on Darth Vader as well. They're a little little different here, and his price has slowly been creeping up. He's just over $20 now, and I think he's just a good combination of having some of the real effects of Darth Vader, like his black suit is still on underneath the red robe that's covering him on the outside. He's just a cool looking guy with the white hands, and anyways, he's probably one of my favorite versions of Vader in general. Let's move on down to 2015. This one's pretty classic. This is the reindeer R2-D2, or I think people call him R2-Deer2, depending on your persuasion. Astromech suggestions always welcome in the comments below. He is probably one of the more uninteresting guys. They really just clipped antlers onto the top of an R2-D2 fig and called them a different fig. So I've pretty much got nothing else to say about that. But now we're moving on to Santa C-3PO. He was the better quote-unquote fig to get for this advent calendar. I think he was the final guy to unwrap. And not only does he just look a little bit cooler and funnier, I think thematically, but they also decided to give him an exclusive print for that Santa torso print. Once again, it doesn't feel like it would have been totally necessary for them to do, but they went ahead and did it anyways. I like the gold trim that comes down right in the center. It's actually a pretty detailed little torso piece, and certainly well appreciated, at least on my end. He's getting close to $10 in collectability as well. And then one of my favorite ones of the collection came from 2016. The only guy here, this is the Snow Chewbacca, or Snowman Chewbacca. Personally, I mean, he's a Yeti, right? At least that's the way I see him. His whole body is white. The mold, of course, is exclusive to this figure. I like the Christmas-themed ammo belt on his shoulder, and he's still pretty accessible to get as a collectible fig, and one of those characters they just interpreted perfectly for the holiday season by turning him into a Yeti. 2017 will go down, I think, as the worst year for this particular theme. We only got one fig, and it's BB-8 with a Christmas hat. So he only just squeaked into this collection basically on a technicality. He does come riding a snowboard, which I suppose is cool, but technically that doesn't actually count as part of the fig here. And in a weird way, it's also the most rare and difficult piece to get for this fig. And now for you sticklers out there, you will be happy to see that I've included a figure for 2018. This was a year I skipped the last time I did this video. People weren't really sure whether or not to include this guy as an exclusive fig. BrickLink only recently added him as a figure, sort of retroactively, so at least that's my defense. But anyways, this is the snowman that has the Rebel pilot helmet on him. And if you want to get real specific, this is Antok Merrick's helmet. He came out in the same set, but didn't have the actual helmet piece, so you're supposed to put it on him sort of after the fact. Interesting little factoid about this particular minifigure, quote unquote, is that this print for his face, the basic snowman face print, that's actually exclusively made just for this snowman. It doesn't appear in city sets or anywhere else, so I thought that was kind of interesting. But anyways, I suppose it's not that interesting. We're jumping up to 2019 with the festive Gonk droid, who was cleverly put together in the shape of a present. There's no exclusive prints for this guy, but honestly, I'm not disappointed. It's a really clever idea. He is the cheapest figure that you can get from this collection, just shy of $2, and he's probably one of the most creative figs on this list. This set also came out with a Santa version of a Porg, so some of the bricks that color the Porg body are in white and red to kind of make it look like he's maybe wearing a Santa suit. It's hard to tell. And then he's also, of course, got a Santa hat. Some of the pieces that made up his body when he first came out were a little bit hard to get. Now they're very common. And now we're jumping up to two figs that did not come from an advent calendar and are in fact from one of the most collectible Lego Star Wars sets ever made. In conjunction with the 20th anniversary of Lego Star Wars, the employee gift set that is only given to Lego employees had a Star Wars theme. It is the Christmas-themed X-Wing. It's a crazy hard set to get. It sells for a lot of money on the second-hand market, and it came with two figs. The first one here is an elf version of Master Yoda. None of the pieces on him are exclusively made. That Santa piece in the center is just used on a bunch of Santa figs for several years. The short legs in dark green are common. The head for Yoda's head is pretty common as well. But just because he came out in this difficult set to get, the combination of pieces that make up this Yoda is just shy of $12. Now jumping on over to the Yuletide Squadron pilot, this is the guy that people really want. Number one, he's got exclusive prints that only came out in this really difficult set to get. Number two, they're amazing prints, and he's kind of just just a cool, weird, unique character. He's kind of a Santa version of a fighter pilot. It's really strange, but also quite intriguing. His face print is just an old Obi-Wan face that I think we first saw from 2014. The helmet and visor are nothing to write home about. Same thing with the beard piece, but really it's about the prints for the torso and the legs. They're really rock solid. The color combination is quite striking with the solid gold sort of on the chest plate there that covers the dark green. And even the bag he's holding in his hand was exclusive in this color until the Sesame Street set not too long ago. This minifigure on BrickLink on average sells for just shy of $300. Not only does that make him one of the most collectible Star Wars figures, but that price for him rose very, very quickly. Other Star Wars figs at the same price often take 20 years to get there or 15 years to get there, but this is just one of those instant collectible dudes, mostly because he came out in a very peculiar kind of set that thematically and distribution-wise won't ever get released quite the same way again. Let me show you the last four guys from the 2020 Advent calendar, and then I'll show you the entire collection and how the price changes by just removing this one pilot. So from 2020, we got some great guys actually. The first one here is Poe Dameron with a green sweater. The only exclusive piece for him is the torso print, but it looks excellent. It's highly detailed, classic ugly sweater. The BB-8 design really makes a lot of sense for Poe Dameron. Then next up is D.O. All he's got is a Santa hat, nothing really to write home about for this guy. Here is another amazingly creative Gonk droid. This is a snowman version of a Gonk droid. Lots of fun shapes here. You can see that he's got a mouth, a nose, eyes, and even weird little springy twig arms with a hat. Because he's just pieces, he's actually a pretty cheap figure to get. And then we get another Christmas-themed ugly sweater, this time on the body of Darth Vader. It's the only exclusive piece for this character, just like Poe Dameron, and the printing goes along the back pretty well. The Death Star is simple and ugly, but that's kind of the point here. He's almost $10 already, and the set is still being sold, so that just goes to show you Darth Vader will always be pretty popular. Anyways, here are all 19, not 20, here are the 19 figures minus the pilot, and the final price for this collection, if you were to buy them all on BrickLink, not including shipping, would average out to $153. Let's just put that Yuletide pilot in the corner there. Now the collection is worth close to $450. Thus is the world of collecting. Weird ways figures get distributed has a huge effect on its aftermarket value. Plus, this is actually a pretty cool figure, so it's this kind of perfect storm of strange collectability for little tiny pieces of plastic. Check out the description below for our web store. I've also got information on how I find prices for figures in case you guys were curious. Let me know what types of strange names you come up with for these Christmas themed droids. I'd like to see those in the comments. Also, what type of collection do you want to see us do in the future? Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, do what you want to do, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.